Hey guys, what's good? Mike here, Laker Talk. Just got back from the gym, but I want to recap this Warriors and Lakers preseason game from last night. Last night was a bad night because not only this game was disappointing in a sense on how we played, but the Dodgers tied the game late against the Cubs and then gave up a grand slam. I was just like, I'm done. I don't even talk anymore that night. So I had to cool off. But in regards to this preseason game, this was our 6th preseason game. We play Golden State one more time, and then we finish off playing Phoenix. That Phoenix game should be fun and exciting. I would love to see us compete, D'Angelo compete against Devin Booker. And that's going to be a fun one, depending on if they play a lot of minutes. But this game pretty much went as expected, but in my opinion, it's still disappointing. It's preseason. You don't want to put too much on it, but there are some things that you can look at our team and say, we have to fix these things. Though it's preseason and we don't want to put, we don't want to get too frustrated, but if preseason is there for us to run through some things and fix things that are broken and get ready for the regular season. And so we're going to point those things out. But just a little overview, Golden State pretty much destroyed the Lakers, made us look like we were a JV team. And that's to be expected. The good news is we play Golden State 4 times and then we move on, right? But Golden State, in my opinion, was kind of walking through, some things, and we just didn't put any pressure on them defensively. We looked lost. We looked starstruck. We weren't talking on defense. I mean, of all people, Klay Thompson was left open on several occasions. Steph Curry was left open for 3 on several occasions. You don't have to game plan for that. Basically, somebody who's going to stick Steph Curry and somebody stay on Klay, okay? And somebody stay on Kevin Durant. Everybody else can kind of roam around, right? Let them destroy you. You just got to put a body on those guys. It was concerning. It was like disappointing to me because we didn't really put up a fight. In my opinion, like I said, we seemed starstruck. D'Angelo body language was off. It looked like he quit. I tweeted about this. Randall was still inconsistent to me, didn't give us anything, and he actually had a guy on him that is probably won't even make the team. Some second-year guy from UCLA. I don't even know who he is, but Randall didn't do anything. The only person that came to play early on was Mozgov, in terms of he didn't look starstruck. He was trying to take it at his guy. He was trying to go at Zaza Pachulia or whatever. And there's some other guys. There's some other good pluses on our team. Some guys that stepped up. But I get on folks on my team when they're playing bad. Again, it's not indicative of what kind of season they're going to have. If D'Angelo plays bad, I'm going to say he plays bad. If he plays good, I'm going to say he shot the lights out, right? If Randall plays bad, I'm going to tell you he plays bad. Jordan Clarkson, right? He's Mr. Consistent, but you got to point things out. He got exposed trying to guard Klay Thompson, in the sense that you can see his height disadvantage when he's trying to guard bigger guards. He really at a disadvantage, right? And he get exposed on that side of the ball. So you have to identify those things and work on those things, right? Like I said, D'Angelo Russell was very sloppy with the ball. He looked, I'm not going to go as far as I said he quit, but that's kind of like being maybe too harsh. It just feel like I want him to do more. When his shot's not falling, he needs to find other ways to be effective and stay in the game. He looked lousy. He looked like he was lousy with the ball. A lot of us, Randall looked lousy with the ball. A lot of us were turning the ball over. Even early on, Luol Deng ball movement was poor, in my opinion. So we got to fix that. Again, D'Angelo Russell, he can shoot the lights out when he's on. When he's off, what else is he going to give us? Okay, he can't just sit back and try to get everybody else involved. He has to try to maybe attack the rim or get closer, use the pick and roll more and get closer to the rim for a higher percentage shot, right? So there's other things that we have to work on going forward to be successful, right? Just because you're having a bad shooting game or it's not coming easy for you, there's other things that you have to do. You still have to be engaged in the game to be effective and keep it close, right? Plus sides for us, Brandon Ingram comes in and continuously, he's still progressing. I loved Brandon Ingram. He had one of his better games. Came in, hit some big shots, and this was against some of the core guys on Golden State Warriors team. Sean Livingston, who is a great long defender. Brandon Ingram held his own, was able to get some good shots off, was attacking the rim, was being engaged. You can see his body language was all for it. So I like the way Mozgov started the game. I like Brandon Ingram. And then lastly, I like Nick Young. Also like what Nance showed later in the game as well. But I like Nick Young. He, to me, is having one of his better preseason games. He's looks like one of the better guys in preseason for the Lakers. What does that mean? Yes, have I turned a corner on him? Yeah, of course, in the sense that he can now be of value to our team. There's two things that's going to come of Nick Young turning things around. Basically, coming off life support. One, he now adds value to our team, right? He's a scorer, and that's big for our team. Two, the fact that now his game is turned around, it makes him that much more valuable in terms of his trade value. So now, if he continues this up, you're going to have veteran teams that might need that presence on their team in the playoffs. So what does that mean? We can ideally maybe package Nick Young up with somebody to gain another experienced player in return. Right? So those are a couple of things that we can look for in terms of what's going to come about with Nick Young. At the end of the day, people, when the game's going on and I tweet at things, or I say I'm disappointed with this person, people kind of get scared, like, Mike, you're being too hard on this person. You're doing this. Listen, you have to identify problem areas if you want to fix them, right? I can look at everybody down the line, even Nick Young with his shooting ability. I can still point out things that we need to work on. One, his shot's not always going to fall. He's not going to always hit 50% from three. He's not going to always hit 50% from the field. So when his shot's not falling, what else can he do to continue to add value to our team? Klay Thompson. Take Klay Thompson, for example. When his shot's not falling, what does he do? He cuts to the rim and get easy buckets driving to the lane. Right? So he adds a variety of things, and then he defends like a superstar on the defensive side. So you got to look at every player, even though they're doing good, figure out how can we continue to improve. If we don't look at players, we don't call out D'Angelo for some of the disappointing things that he does when he does have a bad game, or Julius Randle for when he has a bad game, we're going to win 17 games. Are you okay with that? No, we want to continue to progress. So you have to call these guys out and say, we got to work on that. We got to work on this. We got to work on that. Some people say, Mike, are you giving up on Julius Randle? I'm not giving up on Julius Randle. I'm just pointing out the facts. The facts is I'm not giving up on him. I'm saying I like Julius Randle's game, but just off the bench. If he's going to be limited in his fundamentals, in his decision making, in his ability to operate at the high post and really create for us on the offensive end, if those are some limitations, then bring him off the bench and get somebody else in there that can be effective and be of value as a starter, right? If Julius Randle is limited, then let's use his limitations to the best of our capabilities as a team. That's all I'm saying. So when I look down the list and I criticize guys from game to game, that's what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at it like, oh, I'm a fan of this guy and, it's okay. He had a bad game. Let's move on this preseason. No, I'm going to call things out. And then so when they come back and they have a good game, I'm going to say, good job. Let's continue to be that consistent. All right. I'll get off guys. Like if you have 15 good games and you have one bad game, I'm going to get off you. Like superstars are destined to have bad games here and there. But what makes a superstar, what makes an all-star is that you're consistent for like day in, night in, night out. So that's my thoughts. Hit me up in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts on that game, what you see and where we can improve, what players you want to call out and what players need to improve in certain areas. Let me know. We play Wednesday, might have more videos in between then. Obviously, I'll have a lot more because when I'm looking at different players, I'll be talking about different things. So hit me up in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for commenting, liking, and subscribing. And as always, guys, follow me on Twitter at MikeSportsLA. We'll talk soon. Peace.